it or lose it. And despite what you may think, you actually do have the ability to increase your IQ and your mental agility as you get older. Here to tell us how, Dr. Natasha Iyer. Thanks so much for coming in today. So one of the big things that we need to talk about is Alzheimer's, because when a lot of people think of their mental health as they age, that's one of the things that comes up, and it turns out it is actually getting more prevalent.
It is.
So why is that, and where do you start to prevent it?
First of all, you've only given me 5 minutes, so I don't have a lot of time to tell you. The thing is, it is more prevalent because of the world and the way we've engineered our modern world.
Mm-hmm. So when you, where do people start getting it? Are you starting to see it in younger patients as well?
Yes, absolutely. So patients in their 40s and 50s are starting to present with memory decline. And if you look at them, they have the earliest signs of Alzheimer's disease.
What are the reasons for that? Is it what we're eating? Is it what we're breathing? Is it the fact that we're living longer?
It's what you're eating. Mm-hmm. It's what you're breathing. It's how we're living our lives, what we're surrounding ourselves with. Even the simple things like electronics, watching too much TV and video games. And I think the most important thing to realize is that when we treat Alzheimer's, we're treating it at the much later stages. If you look at the underlying basis, it's a process called inflammation. Okay. And inflammation is actually directed by the types of foods you eat, the beverages you drink.
Now, you were telling me earlier, there is new research, and you're learning now that people can actually expand their brains as they get older. You can learn new things, and you can get smarter as long as you're working your brain out. What are some of the ways that people can do that?
I advise my patients to try something different. So your brain has this capacity, and it's called neuroplasticity. So how your brain can develop new brain pathways and learn new things, you can actually improve your IQ even.
Right.
But you should try something new. So if you play the piano, don't go try a different musical instrument. Now try something like dance.
Okay.
You know, do crossword puzzles and memory puzzles and things that challenge your brain so that you're developing new pathways. So instead of doing the same old thing, like driving the same route every day, try something different. Opposite hand day is a wonderful, wonderful thing to try.
And now that's something that we were talking about, because it's really easy to give up on opposite hand day. I'm just going to tell you. I tried, and I got past one squiggly line in my name. I could barely hold a spoon. So
let's just talk about what opposite hand day is.
Okay.
So it is, if you're right hand dominant, you're going to use your left hand. So things like brushing your hair, brushing your teeth. Now, I practice writing with my left hand, and you tend to get better if you stick with it. And that tells you that your brain's actually getting used to it. Another interesting thing to try is to just take the watch off your hand.
Okay.
And if you're going to wear it this way. So if you take it off, put it on the other hand, but put it on upside down.
Okay.
And if you do that, watch how long it takes you
to figure out what time it is.
To figure out what time. Not only that, as you go through the day, you'll find that you'll look here, 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 and it's just mind-boggling how long it takes you to get there.
It's mind-boggling, and it may be frustrating for some people, but it's an important thing to do. We talk about, our physical fitness, but not so much about our mental fitness all the time.
That's right.
The other thing that you mentioned is what we eat. It always comes down to what we eat. So walk us through some of the bad things that we're eating that's hurting our brains.
Well, the obvious things are alcohol and drugs.
Right.
We eat way too much sugar, and sugar's in everything. I was doing that workshop by Skype in San Diego on the weekend, and I said, is Cheerios healthy? And most people said, it isn't. And I said, is it? And they had no idea,
right.
That almost everything that's packaged and processed is filled with sugar, and sugar underlies inflammation, and it affects everything from your skin to your brain.
Right. When we talk about the good things we eat, we always talk fruits and vegetables. Is there anything maybe that people don't think of, ways you can think outside the box, and what's really good for your brain?
My favorites would be foods rich in antioxidants. Okay. So back to your fresh fruits and vegetables. But, something like the green tea. Mm-hmm. Now, caffeine is not always good for your brain.
Right.
And it's quite addictive. So go with your naturally decaffeinated green teas. That would be something really useful, I think, to add to your day-to-day living.
Lots of good advice, Dr. Natasha Iyer. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll have you in again, because like you said, it's only 5 minutes, and there is lots to talk about. If you need more information,
Sleep and hormones are two things we really didn't talk about. And betterbrainfitness.com, I've prepared a report to add all of these extra things that we haven't talked about.
Perfect. You can go check it out. You saw the website there, betterbrainfitness.com. Thanks so much. And now we'll check in with Kelsey for another look at the forecast.
So I just learned that I shouldn't be drinking all of my coffee in the morning.